Everyone, my name is Joy, and I'm here just to share a little bit of my story and my experience with having a microdiscectomy surgery in my L5S1 lumbar disc. And I'm just putting this out there because I know before my surgery and before I decided to have the surgery, I was looking up stories and other people's experiences, and it was hard for me to find young females. I'm 21 years old. I'm a very active runner. I'm a college track and field athlete. So I'm just going to share my experience and my story and how I came to decide to have a microdiscectomy. So about a year and a half ago, I initially injured my back in the weight room, and it wasn't that big of a deal. I just kind of took a few days off, and it felt like I tweaked my back doing deadlift or back squat. So from that point on, I kept running and training like normal, and that probably wasn't the best idea. And nothing really came of that. And then I tweaked my back once again in the weight room, and I think that kind of put me over the edge. And that's when I started having some symptoms of something wrong in my back. So as I was training at an intense level, I started having sciatica pain, which was the disc was pinching my nerve that was going through to my left leg. So down my butt and down the back of my leg, in my left leg, I was having just kind of sharp shooting pains, certain movements, bending, sitting was uncomfortable. I was kind of debilitated for a little bit, but I kept training like normal, which probably wasn't the best idea again. But so I just was bearing with it, and eventually symptoms started to progress from not just the sciatica pain, but weakness and numbness. My left calf was getting really tight and sore, and my right calf was fine. So something was just off in that leg. So we decided to get an MRI, and the MRI showed a severe disc herniation in the L5S1 lumbar area. So had that, and I actually continued to train because I could. I wasn't unable to run, but it was just uncomfortable, and just I wasn't competing at a high enough level that I would like to. So I bared with it, and eventually it came to the point where I couldn't run. I could go for a few minutes and my left calf would just cramp up and hurt so bad, so I had to stop. So I took a summer, just laid low. I did a lot of physical therapy and traction treatment, and I did traction almost every other day, every day, as much as I could. I got a few epidural steroid shots local to that disc area. I did 2 of those. So I pretty much exhausted all conservative care remedies. So I did everything I could, and things weren't really getting better. I kept trying to run, and I just wasn't right. I just wasn't performing. I was in shape, but my left leg was just off and just uncomfortable. So we got another MRI a bit later, and it showed a little more herniation in that disc. So it wasn't getting better, it was getting a little worse. So from that point, we decided that, this disc is not going to improve or get better. It's probably going to be like this the rest of your life unless you do something about it. So I did decide to have a surgery to remove the piece of disc that was bulging out and pushing on my nerve that was going to my left leg. So about 2 weeks ago, exactly today, I had a microdiscectomy surgery, and I was prepared for the worst. There's always risks with back surgeries and dealing with your nerves that control your movement. But yeah, about 2 weeks ago, and I'm walking 4 to 5 miles a day, and I feel great. So that's just kind of background about my story, and I'll post a couple more videos about specifics on the first 2 weeks of this experience after microdiscectomy. So stay tuned, and thanks for letting me share my story.